Today's a big one. Steven, aka Twitch, dies today at 40 years old from suicide. His famous roles as DJ on The Ellen Show, Magic Mike, Step Up Franchise, and more. This is really kind of a tough one. I have a handful, I think 3 close friends of mine that I see on a monthly basis who have somebody directly, like a mom or a brother or a family member, commit suicide. So seeing how they grieve and seeing what they go through makes this a bit more, not so much close to home, but I could see how it directly impacts and affects people. So we've talked a lot and shared a lot about mental health and the broad stroke that it is on this channel, from podcast topics to discussions to people suffering from legitimate neurological disabilities. So I want to take this time first to say that I pray for the family and friends of Steven. I can only imagine what they must be going through. He had a wife, beautiful children. It's incredible that, oh man, this is crazy. So when I look at these situations, I might look at it differently than most people, but I look at kind of what I learned from these things and like what I hope to take away, and then I like to go through and leave a message at the end. So to starters, what I learned from these things and what I want to observe and the way I kind of look at things is how much everyone is quietly struggling, especially when it regards to fame, and whether it be like this is a good looking, healthy, athletic young man, successful family, and what it kind of scares me that when I see these things happen to people like that, it makes me nervous for what might happen to me or people around me who have anything less than that. And so he's always had a great smile on his face while performing, and seeing that and really understanding how people are covering things up, and I don't know, you might be sharing this stuff with other people, but from my personal experience, knowing people who've been directly affected and being close friends of mine, seeing how a lot of them never knew or never noticed anything different until after the fact. They look back and go, oh, well, I guess they were distant, or they stopped doing this, or they stopped showing this, and they would almost say their personality started to fade, which is a very weird and tough concept to grasp and wrap my head around, but I'm trying. So what I hope that I take away, and that we as a whole, as a society, for lack of a better term, take away from this, is that we check in with people more. I think we need to make it okay to share things that are very vulnerable and maybe tough to talk about, and hopefully allow pain. Doing this, hopefully it allows pain to escape, or at least feel not so heavy, where we're almost sharing the weight with people, right? Many hands make light work. Hopefully that can apply to this sort of thing. So this is a tough one. One last thing is, if you're watching, know that you're not alone. If you've been experiencing stuff similar to this, or if you're nervous or scared, people love and support you. And check in with people more. Check in with people, bring this up to people, get the tone set of the conversation, and let the topic flow, and see what kind of examples you can pull out of your own life to relate to people. And I just think now more than ever, connection is important with things like this coming out. Check in with people, care for people, because you never know what they're going through. It is a very, very tough time. It's a very, very tough situation to go through. And I've kind of written down bullet points and notes I wanted to hit with this, but in the overall arc of the mental health umbrella, it's very, very, very tough. And in my personally, because I've talked a lot about as a whole, but personally with this type of stuff, it scares me. It scares me because I don't want that to happen to me or somebody I love who has maybe less than what they have. Because if you have somebody who has fame, fortune, love, everything, they check all the boxes, in what we define as happiness, in the scope of what happiness looks like from the outside, that he checks all the boxes. And so anybody who has less than that, less than what he had, that makes me nervous, and that scares me, and it makes me want to, now I want to go check in with people, understand what they're going through more. And it's a tough time, tough thing to deal with. Wrapping it up, my thoughts with the family, prayers with them. I hope everybody deals with this in a healthy way and check in with people, and let's get talking. So, you never know what people are going through.